Most of us know the grim statistics of how many people the U.S. imprisons. We have more people behind bars than any other nation on the planet, and we're imprisoning more now than we have done in the past. In the early 1970s, about 1 in every 1,000 Americans was behind bars. Today, it's almost 1 in every 100, and a disproportionate number of them are black men. Continuing from the discussion we just had on the Black Lives Matter movement and how black jobs matter, we turn now to author Alice Goffman, whose new book, On the Run, Fugitive Life in an American City, profiles one poor black community in Philadelphia and how its residents have been transformed by over-policing, state violence, and mass incarceration. Having spent years in a Philly neighborhood that she refers to as 6th Street to preserve anonymity, Goffman traces the life of a group of young men and their trials and travails. She now joins me on Skype. Welcome to Uprising, Alice.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Now, can you first set the stage for us in terms of how you started this project that turned into the book On the Run? How did you happen to find yourself, a person who had grown up in a wealthy white neighborhood, how did you find yourself in a poor black neighborhood of Philadelphia to begin with?
Yeah, that's a good question. When I was a freshman in college at the University of Pennsylvania, I started working in the campus cafeteria. And from there, the University of Pennsylvania is situated within a historically African-American section of the city. So it's a majority white, wealthy university within a mixed income black neighborhood. So I started working in the cafeteria on campus, and my boss in the cafeteria was an African-American woman in her 60s who lived in the adjacent neighborhood. The following fall, I started tutoring 2 of her grandchildren, and then the cousin of one of her grandchildren came home from juvenile detention, and that was the sort of pivotal moment for me. I started to realize that lots of boys and young men in this neighborhood were sitting in court instead of in class. They were meeting with probation officers instead of with teachers, and they had low-level warrants for technical violations. They were paying court fees. They were going in and out of jail. So then I spent the next 6 years talking to people, getting to know people, living in this neighborhood, and it became my dissertation and then a book.
Now, can you describe 6th Street? It's not actually called that, I understand, but from your description, it could be any sort of small, blighted neighborhood in an urban center in the U.S. with a majority black population.
Yeah, it's 98, 99% black residents, but it's not the poorest neighborhood in the black section of Philadelphia that it sits within. It's not the most crime-ridden. It's a mixed income neighborhood. There are a lot of middle-class families, a lot of people going to work and going to school, but they're going to school as their neighbors are being chased through the streets and the police helicopters are circling overhead, and lots of young people are being hauled off to jail.
Now, in your book, you explain many terms that people use to describe and classify one another, which was an interesting story in and of itself. Terms like dirty versus clean, hot versus cool. Can you explain some of these terms and how they illustrate the divides within the communities themselves?
Yeah, so basically there are so many young people, particularly boys and young men, who are being stopped and searched and who are being arrested, that your legal kind of qualifications becomes this really important thing to know about other people. So in the first year and a half I spent there, I saw the police stop people and search people or run their names, bring people in for questioning or make an arrest every single day just in this 4-block radius. So with that level of policing, it becomes important to know if your neighbor or your friend has a low-level warrant out or might have something on him that would cause the police to take him into custody. So when people ask, well, when you hear that someone got stopped, the first question is often, is he dirty? Meaning, is he going to make it home tonight, or is he going to be seized, not make it home?